I'm Elliot, and he's John.
Hi, I'm John, and he's Elliot, and welcome to the first episode of The Still More Show.
How exciting. So this is the pilot episode
Yeah.
of our brand new podcast, which no doubt we will have promoted to death by this point.
Yeah,
By the time
this, I mean,
come out.
yeah, it'll probably be a week from when we're recording at least, so.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So we'll have posted a fair bit, probably. And so if you're listening, thank you very much. We appreciate that, because why?
Yeah.
Man.
Thank you for, not wasting your time, but
No, of course not.
spending your time in a way that you could have been more productive, but, you know.
Yeah, there's probably something more productive you could be doing, but
you might learn a thing or two, and by that I mean one or two things.
Literally one or two things at push, maybe three. But well, it looks like we've done most of our job already. Really,
yeah.
We've introduced the podcast. I think on the very off chance that there are people listening who don't know who we are, we should perhaps introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
So take it away, John Madden from Leicester, age 19.
Thank you, Elliot Wilson from Leicester, age 19. I am.
There
John.
we go. That's the intro done.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So what do you do? What do you do normally?
Yeah, I'm an intern at St John the Baptist Church in Clarendon Park, which is an area of Leicester. It's
lovely.
It's in Leicester.
Yeah.
So I'm a youth intern. So I do like the youth work, as the title suggests.
In a church.
In a church. Yeah.
So what do you do? So during the week, what do you do? You plan for the youth group, which meets on.
Planning for the youth groups and doing the Minecraft server now, because we have a Minecraft server, which blew up and went on the BBC. And
it was on local news, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, the youth leader at your
really
church
cool.
built the whole church in Minecraft.
Oh, to scale, which
to scale,
which freaked me out slightly, but.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually seen it, and I'd quite like to see it because I do dabble in Minecraft. I won't shy away from that fact.
Yeah. I'll see if I can get the map downloaded for you.
Yeah, you should. I'd really like to see it genuinely. Yeah. So he's done that so that your youth group can still meet at the church, in inverted commas, and still do their youth group, which is such a clever idea.
Yeah, with little floating text Bible verses and all sorts. It's really, I think that's just so cool.
Madness! That's great. It's great. I love what you do day to day. It's great. I don't know all of what you do. I just know that you're often very busy working and doing your thing. But what you're doing is a great cause. It's a great way of spending the year. It's what you've been doing for the last year, isn't it?
Yeah, nearly a year now. Wow.
That's top notch. Without getting too deep and soppy, mate. I think you're a decent guy. And that's why.
I'd say that's pushing the boundaries of deep and soppy.
Oh man, I take it back. Okay, I don't actually mean that. So that's you.
That's me. Who are you? Elliot Wilson, age 19, from Leicester.
You've just said all the interesting facts about me. All of the interesting material I have.
Gosh darn it.
I am a first year student studying English literature at Birmingham City University in the city of Birmingham.
It's a good job Birmingham City University is in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd struggle with naming it.
Yeah, I saw on a TV show the other day that there's a University of Loughborough in London.
Yeah, interesting.
So, you do have to explain these things sometimes.
Which you wouldn't think you'd have to explain ever.
No.
But
there
you go.
You wouldn't think so, but that's just, I don't know, is it the English or is it just humanity generally? Just a bit daft. But yeah, that's what I do. So I am usually living in Birmingham. I mean, my first year has just come to an end, actually, last Friday. I handed in all my final pieces of coursework. But I have spent the last year living in halls of residence in a little flat with 8 other people, very lovely people who I like very much. And
Just say that
Yeah,
just in case
but
they're
current...
listening. Like, who I love and I like very much.
Gotta be
Wink,
nice.
wink. I'm a good person.
Yeah. No, they know I do really like that. I have a bit of an attitude sometimes, I guess, but everybody does. But they know that I love them really.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a shame that our year has been cut short. We should have had a few more months together, but we've had to come home because of the current state. And to anybody who's listening to this podcast way in the future, who's not aware of kind of the time scale or when this thing's recorded, we are currently on week 8 or 9, I think.
I think
of
yesterday
our...
was the start of 9.
So we're currently about, we're midway through week 9 of UK lockdown for coronavirus, for COVID-19, which has, I mean, it's altered our plans a little bit, hasn't it?
It's had, yeah, you could say that.
It's come out of nowhere, but we can't dwell on the misery.
Yeah,
And we've made the most of it. We released our first track last Friday, which was incredibly exciting.
Which actually, the lockdown meant we just had loads of time to promote it, really. So people probably got a little bit annoyed at that, but they listened because they didn't forget.
It was we had a couple of weeks because we've been working on this song, our debut song, Turn to Sea, that's just come out. It sounds like I'm plugging it. I'm not just saying that for the sake of promoting it anymore. But
I mean, this is going out on the channel that it's on, so chances are that...
Yeah, chances are, if you're already on it, go and give it a listen. Go on.
Yeah,
go
just...
on. Just pause the podcast now.
We don't actually make any money from the YouTube one, so you can just listen for your own pleasure,
Yeah, it's not gaining us anything. We just really want people to hear what we've done.
Yeah.
But yes, we wrote this song when? Last
July?
July? June? July?
What?
August?
Of course.
January?
Yeah.
Did we even write it? We wrote the song last July, about a week or so after we had started writing songs.
Yeah, I do want to clarify, we did write it. We did.
Yeah, to clarify, that was a joke. We absolutely wrote this song. Did we?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I'm going to stop denting our reputation. Yes, we did write this song.
Reputation.
John wrote this song, in fact, didn't you? I did the lyrics, but you came up with the kind of...
We both... You can't say that writing the lyrics isn't part of writing the song.
I just stop it, you. No, I mean... I'm not trying to deflect credit or anything. I appreciate that. And I'm very happy with the lyrics. But yeah, that catchy ass tune. Am I allowed to say that? That catchy tune.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
I'll allow it. That catchy tune came straight from your fingers. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh, this is going to be so full of innuendos that are just about appropriate.
It is, yeah, just verging on. Yeah, we'll keep it absolutely child friendly, and as up tempo and encouraging and motivating as John and I can possibly muster.
Can I argue that child friendly is like 12 plus? It's not like, don't let your 5-year-olds watch.
Yeah, I think if you're letting your 5-year-olds listen to us, you should probably be parenting them better, I think. But they won't learn any bad language from us. That's the positive.
Yeah.
Right, we're talking nonsense. So we've introduced ourselves quite well, if I do say so myself. Oh, crikey. I mean, I think the one other thing to touch on there, though, is how do we actually know each other? Because we do know each other.
We do.
Don't we?
Otherwise, this would be very interesting.
Can you imagine? Just like you've got to generate a random online call with somebody, and whoever it is, you've got to create a podcast with them.
That's like Omegle podcast.
You
get stuck with one person, and like you have to. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, It's like speed dating, isn't it?
Speed
Or
podcasting.
blind dating or something. Yeah, speed podcasting or blind podcasting. That would be really cool. We should suggest
Speedcaster.
that idea.
I'm patenting that.
What? What'd you say?
Speedcaster.
Shut up. Oh man, that is quite good. I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
But no, we do know each other. All jokes aside, almost too well, I think.
Yes.
We have been best mates, really, haven't we, for quite a few years.
You're back in the days. I
Yeah.
remember those times.
Well, how long is it? We've spoken about it a lot recently. How long have we known each other? 6 years,
8 years.
8 years, and we've been proper mates for most of that time, really.
Yeah. I think
We met through our church, Holy Trinity Church in Leicester. Let's give them a big shout out.
Yeah. They're gonna get so much more popular from our podcast, obviously.
That's it. They'll be reeling in thousands of new followers soon.
Yeah.
Loads of people turn up next Sunday just trying to get a glimpse of me and you.
Of course. On the Zoom call.
Oh yeah, of course, it's all Zoom at the minute, isn't it? Oh crikey! But yeah, Holy Trinity Church has raised us. I mean, our parents have raised us, and they've done a damn good job of it too. And I know my mum's listening because she listens to everything that we produce.
Yep.
So yeah, our parents have raised us very well, but the church has also raised us very well.
Yeah.
In our faith and in our general, just our general kind of livelihood, if that makes sense. I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I know. I understand what you mean.
As decent people, I think we've been raised very well. And that's not just the two of us. There are other people at the church,
which is good. We're not. It's good that it's not just us two.
Yeah, that would be weird. But no, we've been part of a big youth group growing up, haven't we? And we've been so fortunate, so blessed that there've been a lot of people in our year group within the youth group.
Yeah.
And we've had we've got so many great friends in that group. We've had so many memories growing up with that group and going on, residential weekends away and camping trips and all sorts of stuff.
Gosh, yeah, there's so many stories.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure we'll get into some of them in podcasts because they come up in our general conversation so much, Yeah. And that is essentially what this podcast is, isn't
our
it?
general conversation,
Yeah, basically. In fact, that creates a nice little leeway into what is this podcast? Why have two pretty obscure, I'll be honest, pretty obscure musicians decided to create a podcast? Why, John? Why?
That's a good question. I think I was completely caught off guard there because I haven't thought about it at all.
I thought you were gonna go.
No, I'll go. I'll just wing it. So we were writing music and we decided to record a podcast episode on Zoom with our friend Daisy, who featured on the song. And I guess we sort of were like, this is quite good. Like, people will enjoy it. We were posting little snippets from it. And I think it was just like, oh, this is quite good. Like, there's no reason why we can't just do this. Just so that people are filled in on what we're doing as a band and as people, I guess.
Yeah,
a little
absolutely.
Bit. But,
it was great fun as well, wasn't it? Like,
oh, yeah.
It was really enjoyable because we like talking. More specifically, we like talking to each other, and it just seemed a great way of doing it. And also, to anybody who's kind of not really familiar with these kind of things, recording songs and releasing songs can take a long time. And not to say that we're not, we are absolutely desperate and passionate to get as much music out as we can, as quickly as we can. But it still takes time, and we wanted to be able to put out some content in the meantime, I think.
Because we underestimated how long it would take for this song to come out. So it was a lot of promotion, like the song's coming soon, and I look back and the stories are like 32 weeks ago.
That's it, yeah.
And I'm
even
like,
longer.
oh, we should have probably
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know it was our first song, but
we were bright-eyed, naive kids. Now we're big, mature, grown-up men.
with one song.
Yeah, it's literally 10 months later or something, isn't it? But
But the
I
the
mean,
point was more that like we realize now that if we can just like let people into the content, then it's a bit better than giving them a story on Instagram or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and hopefully people find this entertaining. I mean, who knows if we find each other entertaining, but whether
Yeah.
anybody else finds either of us entertaining, we'll find out when we start.
I guess so.
So
Although
yeah,
we
but
have
we
been
really,
told a lot of the time that it's just annoying in real life. But maybe the absence of our faces will improve things.
they're the most annoying part of us probably is our faces, isn't it?
Just our
So
faces being there. Yeah.
oh man. But again, that creates a really nice little leeway into a little exploration into. I'm overcomplicating this with long words that I don't
Yeah.
fully understand. Basically, what are we as a band? What's our kind of
Yeah.
what's the right phrase? Like mission statement. What is it we want to do as a band?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, still more.
go on.
The name of the band is kind of what we're saying, I guess.
Yeah,
It's the idea that like there's never not more with God.
with
That
God.
there's always something you can reach for and something you can like go towards and
Yeah,
overcome. There's just it's just infinite as God is.
yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful way of putting it, John. Um, no,
Poet.
it really is. But yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. So if it's not been made clear already, we are a Christian band. We write songs because we love God, we love Jesus, and we write songs about God and for God,
Yeah.
and hopefully for other people to enjoy, whilst expressing their love for God or not. Um, we hope that our music appeals to people who aren't Christians as well as people who are
Yeah.
Christians. And to some extent, we hope that the messages that we're singing out from our own faith can be, enjoyed by other people, felt by other people. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah.
Excellent.
There was one other thing I was about to say. What was I going to say?
I had a random thought just
Oh, go on,
now, going
go
all
on.
the way back to when we sort of first met in the church youth club in
Hmm.
Connected. Um,
Yeah,
I really love cheese and chopped up hot dog toasties, and I've not had one in like so long. And I really because I saw our toasty maker
yeah.
like earlier today, and I was like, oh man, I wish I could just like make one of those toasts. They were just so
They were
good.
so good. Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, yeah. Let's give a bit more backstory on what Connected was because you
oh yeah,
randomly
that's
dropped
yeah.
that
It
name.
wasn't just a toasty club. Um, there was more to it than the food.
Was there?
Oh,
I never got further than the toasty maker.
yeah.
That's probably explains a lot about why I am like I am.
Just, I've never made it past the toasty maker. John Lewis is a nightmare. You just get in and buy all the toasty makers, and then you're like, oh, I missed the rest of the shop.
That's why I got no friends. Oh, I spent my youth group just making toasties. But
Oh,
no, so Connected was the youth group for kids of what age? Like early
I
teenage
think it was
years or
11
something?
to 14.
Yeah, so that prime age where you're becoming a proper hormonal little grumpy mardy teenager.
Yeah.
Um, but it was great. Like we said, we had that huge group of friends through the church, and that was where we all really started bonding.
Yeah.
Um, and it was a club every Friday went along to that was hosted inside the church building,
Mm,
and it was just a chance for us to hang out. And it was outside of school. It didn't feel like school.
yeah.
It gave us a place. We went and kicked a ball around for a couple of hours, or we,
Yeah.
started. It's probably the point in our lives where we started getting interested in girls a little bit, or, you know,
Yeah. Like
and
there was all sorts to do.
yeah,
Just nice to hang out. And then as we
and
got older, it became more just the hanging out rather than the table tennis, etc. Like it was
yeah, that was
just
it. Well, yeah, you seem to get too cool when you grow older, don't you? For like doing physical activities when you hang out.
Yeah.
It-
Although
yeah.
now I'm a youth leader and I love beating children at table tennis, so the loops back round a bit.
I really hope that somebody cuts that bit of footage out of this podcast
Oh,
and sends it to any possible employer that might employ you as a youth leader in the future.
great. I reckon they would love that.
Yeah, so connecting was great, but like you say, the most important thing about it was those toasties.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
in fact, no, you reminded me by talking about toasties. You know, during lockdown, I have had a toastie for lunch like almost every single day.
Good Lord, the grease.
Yeah. Oh, they're greasy and they're fatty.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. But my choice of toasty, and then I'll ask you yours,
Okay.
is ham. I like just that packet fridge ham that you get.
Oh, like the thin slice, like
Yeah,
wafer
yeah,
thin. Yeah, yeah.
wafer thin. You put two of them on a slice of bread,
Yeah.
and then chop thin slices of cheese. I don't
Yeah.
like grating it. I can't be bothered to wash the grater, but you cut thin
Yeah,
slices
yeah.
of cheese and just layer them on. You don't need too much because when it melts, it goes further.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
get that. Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of cheese and ham, you've reminded me
yeah.
of the Wanwich, which we'll move on to in a second. But we'll continue with the
Yeah,
toasties
we'll
for a
talk
minute.
about the sandwich in a sec.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I have in there with the cheese and the ham is sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, you get a little jar of them
That's a
from
good
like
one.
anywhere. They
Yeah.
only cost a few pennies. Oh, so good. And people have this stereotype that sun-dried tomatoes are like a middle-class poncy food. No, they
Only if you
cost
dry
nothing.
them yourselves, surely.
Yeah, yeah. If you're making them in your, I don't know, your conservatory or
Oh
something,
my
then
gosh.
it's
Yeah.
a bit poncy. I hate to tell you, but if you're buying them for like 50p from
Yeah,
Aldi,
yeah,
like just get come down to planet Earth. They're decent. Um,
yeah.
yeah, and that's what I do. So I then toast that, and then I like some coleslaw with it,
Mhm.
and some pasta salad,
Mhm.
and possibly some hummus and some cucumber sticks as well.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Lovely.
Yeah. What did you have in your
I'm always a fan of a good chicken pesto. Some
Oh,
green pesto chicken. Also,
green.
I put sun-dried tomato in it as well. So
Yeah.
you've got like the pesto, and then so it's almost like red pesto, but it's not because you've got
Yeah.
the
Hang
greeny.
on. You said sun-dried tomatoes.
I did.
You middle-class
Oh
ponce.
no, I've been had.
Oh, I can't believe you. You're so up
I know.
yourself.
Gosh. Anyway, the sun-dried tomatoes, just with some
Yeah.
chicken pesto, and then if I'm
Oh,
feeling cheeky, I'll have it with ketchup.
oh, that is cheeky, John.
Oh,
That is cheeky.
yeah.
That is
So yeah.
wow.
So that's my toasty.
That is good toasty. And next week we'll be back with more of our favourite toasties.
Of
on
course,
the
yeah. We'll try some new things out. Thinking of a Nutella toasty, maybe. Just
Oh yeah, we'll try
shake up
things
the
so that
system.
other people don't have to.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Tracy Beaker show?
Yes.
Do you remember her catchphrase?
No.
At the beginning of the episode, she'd be like, "Remember, I did these things so that you don't have to," or something like that. That's us with toasties. We will try whatever combination people want us to.
Yeah. We will. If you recommend us a combination of stuff to try in a toasty, we will definitely try it before the next episode.
We're gonna get got so hard, aren't we?
Yeah, probably.
They're gonna come back with like I don't know
Oops.
sawdust and brick or something.
Oh goodness
But
me.
I will try it. I've promised. That is my promise. I will try it.
Yeah, we've done a Wanwich. We can take on these toasty
Yeah.
suggestions.
Let's talk about the Wanwich.
The
then. What's
Wanwich.
the Wanwich,
Oh.
John? Take it away.
The Wanwich is a fine invention that we discovered whilst at New Wine,
Which is
a big Christian organisation that run a camp. Not really a camp. It's more just like an event that people
like
camp
a
at.
festival, isn't it?
Yeah, like a bit of a Christian festival with some
for a few nights, and
meetings.
every morning and evening you go and hear some teaching, do some mad worshipping. God, it's great.
Yeah.
And during the middle of the day, you can go off site if you want to and go and buy some lunch, or you can stay on site and buy very expensive lunch from a little food van.
Yeah, which we decided not to do. We opted for Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland down the road
just
in Peterborough.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me started on Peterborough. You know what I think of Peterborough. I hope we don't have. Well, no, I hope we have listeners everywhere. But if you're in Peterborough, I do apologise, but I just hate it. I just hate it. I can't even back myself up. I just don't like Peterborough. And I've had great experiences in Peterborough. We've been to some huge Christian events in Peterborough, and we've had a lot of fun. So you can't blame it on that. I don't know why. And I think you agree with me to some extent, don't you, John?
Yeah, it was a bit like
a ghost town.
Yeah, it was a very odd vibe, like an Edgar Wright movie, or it was just odd.
Yeah, it was weird, and I'm sure it's lovely if you get to know it. I'm sure it's got a great personality, but it just wasn't for me, But back to the Wham Witch. What's a Wham Witch?
Put simply, a Wham Witch is an entire pack of thin sliced ham, an entire pack of the cheap like McDonald's cheese you can get in a bun.
Yes.
Layered one after the other, of course, because why not be tedious with it?
Yeah, exactly. We had to waste time, didn't we?
Yeah, it was more the fact that I think it was preparation for actually eating the sandwich.
Yeah, I think it was. We were trying to put it off. It was procrastination from eating the actual sandwich.
Yeah.
But that was what we did because, during that whole week of camping, we had a kind of very, very small budget of money to spend. We didn't want to spend much. And we tried to basically get lunch for both of us for £3 every day, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we achieved it. We got like a packet of bread rolls for £1, and then a packet of cheese and a packet of ham each for £1 as well, roughly. So it came to about £3, and so we had about 6 rolls, so we would have 3 each.
I seem to remember that it cost us a bit less than £3, and we saved it up and then bought something else on one of the days just as an extra.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we did. I can't remember what we got. I remember also I had to get some shaving cream at some point during that week.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, it was so expensive in Iceland. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculously costly, so I didn't
we had a limited range of shops, by the way. We didn't just
it
wasn't just let's go Iceland. It was like Iceland, a really weird pound shop, or a very small co-op.
Oh yeah, there was a co-op.
There was a Greggs, but it was it looked a bit dodge for a Greggs.
Yeah, probably because there was nobody going in it, because there's nobody in Peterborough because it's a ghost town.
Yeah, that's the one.
But talking about all of this now and thinking back to it so vividly is bringing me mad nostalgia. I am literally really back there right now. It's mad, and it's such a shame that that's all off this year as well because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
New Wine's been cancelled, and all of these things have been cancelled. It's such a shame, but hopefully we'll get back there one day. As much as I've said these things about Peterborough, I would still love to get back there, to be honest.
Yeah.
But not for the town itself, more for the festival.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
Good to know Wetherspoons doesn't change though.
Oh yeah, we went to Spoons there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh wow. That was nice.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the kind of weird stuff we'll end up talking about on these podcasts.
Yeah, well, we said, didn't we? We'll just go off on anecdotes about what we get up to with our youth group and stuff. So
yeah, and just generally the havoc that we cause in people's lives.
Yeah,
constantly.
Yeah. That does bring me on nicely, actually, to what I was going to say anyway next, which was I was just going to say, what kind of topic to talk about. I think it's good to give a little idea of what we're going to be talking about and how this is going to work.
Well, I mean, music for one, because we make music.
Yeah, well, we try.
Yeah, we try. The primary thing will probably be what song we've been writing recently, like songwriting and just generally how our lives are going on music stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Because that thing we're doing this podcast as a Still More project. That's us. That's our band. We're doing it as that rather than just doing it as John and Elliot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about what songs we're working on, what projects we got going. We'll also talk quite heavily about what else we're getting up to in life. So the key aspects of our life, which for you is the internship that you're doing in the church. For me, it's student life at university.
Yeah.
and hopefully by delving into those things, the two slightly different lifestyles that we have, we can cover quite a lot of ground that hopefully some of our listeners will be able to relate to.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can give a little bit of kind of not advice. I don't think we're qualified to give advice.
No, we're
but
definitely not qualified to give advice.
absolutely
I guess
not.
more like life experience that you can
Yeah,
take what you will from it. We won't be telling you things, but we can show you the mistakes
Yeah.
that you can make yourself if you choose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. See, that is the Tracy Beaker motto, isn't it? We've done these things, so you don't have to.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
your choice in the end.
yeah. And we're gonna get. We haven't actually mentioned this at all up until this point, but we're gonna get guests on as well.
Yeah.
Who can say how frequently? It might be every single episode.
Yeah. So you might get a few episodes where it's a bit more in depth and less stupid.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Depending on the guest.
Depending on the guest. Otherwise, it could go the opposite direction.
It could, because we could get somebody like our good friend Luke Riddleston on there. Big shout out to Luke Riddleston. He'll be appearing. We're going to get friends who can relate to some of the things that we want to be talking about a lot.
Yeah.
And get them to talk about some of their experiences, what's going on in their lives. Hopefully, give a broader kind of range of experiences than we could give by ourselves.
Yeah. Because we haven't done everything. If in case you wondered, we're not experts, in everything.
We're not experts in anything.
No, not even a jack of all trades. It's just we're just there doing some of the stuff some of the time.
You really kind of sell us nice. But
that's why there's always still more. We don't cover everything all the time.
That is why there's still more. Oh man, eventually, if that's true. If we knew everything in the world, there would be no more. So
yeah,
we have some great friends, don't we? We have some
do.
really, really good friends, and that is the only time I will show off about something that I have that no one else has. No, other people do have it, but I have great friends.
The temptation to pull an in-betweeners quote is really nagging me right now.
Go on, just do it. Just do it.
Oh, friends!
Are you happy now?
Okay, yeah, there's a sense of relief there.
Now I'll just revert back to my deeply sentimental point then, shall I?
Go on.
We have good friends and we want to get them on, talk to them, get them to talk to us about what they do, what they've experienced, and I'm not for a moment suggesting that this is going to get deep and philosophical, because again, that's just not us, is it?
No.
We don't want to take it super deep. There are people on the internet who do those kind of things that you can listen to, and they're great at it.
Yeah.
But we are not, so we're not going to attempt that. We just want to have a bit of fun. Hopefully, be quite informative when we want to, and just maybe just provide a bit of entertainment, really.
Yeah.
So we're going to get guests on, ranging from some of our friends who are either, they could be students, they could be taking a gap year, traveling, they could be doing a similar internship to John, or they could be people who have tried uni and dropped out, or they could be people who are a bit older who have gone through uni, and they could, even give us some advice. That'd be quite nice.
We need it.
Or, let's be honest. But then hopefully over time we want to get some people on who talk about some broader things as well, like music. We want to get maybe some worship leaders that we know on, or some other songwriters, some Christian songwriters maybe. Maybe for a bit of contrast, we get people who do other religious works. It's absolutely not an exclusive Christian club or anything around here. We could get people on talking about any of their experiences like that. That'd be amazing. I think that'd be really cool.
Should we talk a little bit about when we're going to be out? What day? We originally said Monday at 8 p.m. Subject to change, obviously. I mean, I don't know when this one will be out because it's the first one, so we might just slap it in somewhere.
Yeah.
But like we were thinking about Monday. But if people listen to it and then, they're like, maybe Monday's not the best day. We just thought Monday. No one's got much planned for Monday evening normally.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when we get a big backlash from people saying like,
I've always got
"No,
plans
no,
Monday
it's
evenings.
really
It's my
busy." Yeah,
busiest
yeah,
day. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, we need a starting place. We've got to slap it on Sunday, haven't
yeah,
we? And
yeah.
I mean, I think logically, Monday is probably a good idea. But yeah, if we get a bit of a following, or people suggest, if anyone listening wants to suggest a different day,
Or
feel
if
free
people want like a
messages.
normal podcast, like a Friday or Saturday, like
Yeah,
everyone else does it because
yeah,
it's the
that's true.
most logical place to put it. We can also
It's
put it
true.
there.
Yeah, yeah. If people want that,
Yeah,
but yeah, you can give us a message. This is a good chance to shout out our social media.
yeah,
So
yeah.
our Instagram is stillmore.theband at what is it?
It's at stillmore.theband.
That's it. Oh, sorry, I don't know how Instagram works. Uh, yeah, so it's at stillmore.theband.
Yeah,
And obviously there's no spaces in there. I don't know if you can even put spaces in a Instagram
that's a
handle.
good
I don't
question.
know how Instagram works, okay? But
Yeah.
stillmore.theband. And our own personal Instagrams are, well, you can find them by going onto our band account, but
hmm
mine, what's yours, John?
My Instagram is
Yeah,
I think it's at Mr. underscore J Mad.
nice.
Yeah.
Mine is at Elliot underscore Wilson underscore. So you now have our full names.
Do with
Please
them
do.
what you will.
That's exactly
It's
what I was
out in
going
the
to say.
world now. No further questions
Yeah,
from that. I
yeah.
mean, we have probably introduced it at the start as well, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, that's our social media. Do give us a follow if you haven't already. And we have a YouTube channel, which is simply called Stillmore.
hopefully you will be on it right now because this is where the
Of
podcast is
course.
going. But
That's true, that's true. Well, as well, is the podcast going to appear anywhere else?
we are hoping to get it onto Spotify.
Yeah. What's the likelihood that this episode is on Spotify right now?
Well, it will be there at some point because we can upload it later.
Great.
But it's whether we figure out how to do it in time for the first episode or
Absolutely.
not.
We'll
Um,
get
yeah.
we'll get one of our minions working on it quickly, and by that I
Is
mean
one of us. We don't
one
have
of
any
the two
minions.
of us. Yeah,
It's yeah,
we'll start looking into it as soon as we can, and hopefully get it on Spotify because I think generally that works better for people listening to podcasts because I imagine it like a lot of people listen to podcasts whilst they're like running or driving
doing
or something,
something and
and
you can't do YouTube. Yeah.
yeah, you want your phone screen off, and
Yeah.
YouTube doesn't allow that. So, yeah, but at the bare minimum right now, we're on YouTube. So, thank you for watching us on YouTube if that's where you are. If you're on anywhere else,
If you've gotten this
equally,
far
thank
in
you.
as well,
Yeah,
this
thanks
is
for listening so far. We will, I guess, we'll wrap up pretty shortly. Well, that's it. Yeah, give us a cheeky follow. Keep up to date with things, if you like. It doesn't cost anything, um,
only
and you don't have to pay
yeah.
any attention.
You
But
yeah, well you don't have to pay attention if you don't want to,
yeah,
but
but
we
we hope to
appreciate it.
bring a little bit of light-hearted entertainment and sometimes some deep-hearted depth into your ears.
Which can still be entertaining.
Yeah, of
It
course.
doesn't have to
Yeah,
be deep and really solemn. Like,
yeah, yeah. It's not gonna. Yeah, this correlation, isn't there? When I was thinking earlier, I was like, we want to say on the podcast that it's gonna be deep, but we don't want to make it sound like solemn and broody and miserable because
yeah,
there's often a correlation between those things
yeah,
for
there
some
is.
reason.
It's annoying.
But we're going to talk about some deep things sometimes, but
Yeah,
not, we're going to try and shine some light on them. We're not going to take them with a miserable pinch of misery.
yeah,
We're going to go with our own optimistic mindset, optimistic yet realistic. We're not going to sprinkle all this nonsense on you that's not,
yeah. Well,
not like
we have just
what we
sprinkled a bunch of nonsense on you, but it's,
most of what we say is nonsense.
yeah,
But yeah, that is us. So
yeah. Have fun with that. It's not our problem. It's just how we
oh
work.
my oh my, we really are straying off of some topics
Of
now.
course.
So I say we wrap up here. What do you think,
But
John?
yeah, we'll take a break.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we haven't got an outro planned, have
Oh
we?
yeah, that's true.
We've got an intro. We think we're so cool with our little intro. We've not thought of an outro
Yeah,
yet.
we've not thought about how we wrap it
What do
up.
we say? I've been Elliot and he's been John. I think that's what we should do.
Okay, okay, go for it. Yeah. Bye.
So
You start it with bye. Don't start with hi because.
So, I've been Elliot and he's been John.
I've been John and he's been Elliot.
And this has been the Still More Show, episode 1.
We hope you enjoyed.
The pilot.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed. There will be still more to come.
Stop. It's just getting out of hand. It's just you're adding more things to the outro as you go along.
Right. Cut it off. Cut it off.
Cut it off now. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah. We've got a good outro in there somewhere.